All right, so welcome again. We are talking about Mentars, we are talking about slotting, and we are talking about Ether and how that relates to Essence, because all of these things work together. They're all part of the same system, so it kind of just makes sense to talk about them all at once. If you watched the video where I talked about how everything is set up and how everything works together, then you will have set up to build the Mentars. Once the Mentar is set up on your property, it will have this little icon that pops up on the map to let people know that there's a Mentar built there. The Mentars allow you to slot jewels into slots. And depending on the tier classification, watch that video for explanation on that, is how many slots you'll have available, with other slots available later on to unlock based off certain things. What you're going to do is you're going to take the jewels that you have, and you should be getting your jewels. If you watch the video, of me explaining like the basics of everything, you should have jewels. You slot those jewels into the Mentar, and that will yield higher resources. We'll have a separate video where we talk about jewels a little bit, but for right now, let's just focus on Mentors, slotting, and Ether, and how that relates to Essence. So, Ether is something that comes up from the land every day, and it is raw, and it needs to be refined into Essence, and it will disappear in 48 hours. But if you log in every day and you click to refine your Ether into Essence, it will convert into Essence, and then you will have that Essence. It doesn't go away after that. So, are these a bit of a redundant process? Yes, absolutely it is. But again, it's to encourage you to log in every day and have that daily interaction with this. Once it's transformed into Ether, you have it. And Ether doesn't do anything yet. It's just a cryptocurrency that it will use for transactions later on down the road. You can slot in jewels into the Mentar, into the land. The Mentar gives you the ability to slot in jewels into the land in order to up the Ether detection rate. And so that will detect more Ether on the property that you can convert into Essence. Now, larger plots of land will have a harder time detecting the maximum amount of Ether that can be gathered on it. Smaller plots of land will have an easier time detecting the Ether. So this is another pro and con that they're adding to larger land plots versus smaller land plots. Now, if it's a larger land plot, it could potentially produce more Ether, and more Ether could be detected. But in order to do that, you're going to have to boost the effectiveness of that Ether detection. And that is where slotting in the jewels come into play. So once your Mentars are built, slot the jewels in. And the nice thing about slotting in jewels is it does not consume a jewel. You can always take them out. And then if you sell that piece of land, it will automatically unslot all of your jewels, put them back into your inventory, and so you have those. So feel free to mix and match those, play around with them once your Mentars are set up. And that's honestly about it. Like, it's one of those things that seems a lot more complicated than it really is, but essentially it boils down to this. Set up the Mentar on your land. That Mentar will allow you to slot in jewels. You slot in jewels in order to generate a higher level of Ether detection. Ether detection varies every day, but basically this resource Ether evaporates into the air, the fake air, you know what I mean? The Mentar detects it, and then you can convert that Ether into Essence every day. The Ether will go away if you don't detect it within 48 hours. So log in, press 2 buttons, collect your Ether, slot in jewels on, and I would prioritize slotting your jewels into larger properties because then it will be able to detect more Ether on a wider swath of land, and you get more Essence, which you'll need later on down the road. That's about it. That is Mentars, Ether, and Essence. Thank you for joining me. As always, you can use my promo code if you're buying new land. If you need further explanation on anything, let me know. If something's not making sense, let me know, and I will see you next time.